that. Welcome back.
And for example, though, Louisa also does not have a pay schedule because it's so individualized for each one.
Yeah, so if you could just,
It's really individualized. So we follow the state code and the state code says this is what we can do. So that's the best way because even if we come up with a synopsis, which is a great idea, we sat and we talked about that. We went through different scenarios possible that we could put together. But the problem is that everything is going to be different. We're not going to be able to say, yeah, you fall in this category, or yeah, you fall in that category. Oh, yep, you're right. This estimate is that. We can't do that because we don't know what the question is going to come up. We don't know if someone's going to ask for us to get bank statements or get the, can I have a listing of all the things that happened in 2022 on such and such property? Like we can't do that. We don't know how long it's going to take us. So that's why she has to do it for each individual request. We don't get a lot of them, but here lately we've been getting drowned in requests from FOIA. And it's pulling us away from our other duties, which is fine. We want to be able to share this information with the citizens, but at the same time, in order for us to be able to give them the correct information, hopefully, we'll have a town attorney that we can also talk to about this information and stuff that's going on. We've had to do this research ourselves. We've had to reach out to the FOIA Advisory Council. We've had to go and look at some of the laws so that we can make sure that we're not giving out information that isn't appropriate for the town and will basically hold the town and put them in a liability situation. So we wanted to make sure that we were correct in what we give out.
okay,
Olivia has a comment. She's got her hand up.
go ahead, Olivia.
Yeah, and bear with me, everybody. My voice is going in and out, but I just wanted a little bit of clarification from Nicole and Stephanie about the purpose of this specific item on our agenda. Is this just you guys informing us, notifying the public as to this change that has happened? Or are you guys looking for input and ideas, just to clarify so that we can help keep the discussion on track?
Nicole is saying first, I put it on there because Mayor asked me to put it on there. So two things I have before we do wrap this up. So I reached out to Louisa and I would add that they have two resolutions and I would like for us to have something similar. And we may already have this. I didn't see it. If we do, skip. So Louisa has one where council has appointed the county administrator or their designee to be their FOIA, what's the word?
Officer.
And then they also have a resolution saying that they can make periodic changes to their policy as the state law changes. And I would like something similar to that.
Is that something that you feel comfortable having for the next meeting for the council to approve?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say we table this until next meeting.
Okay,
I move that we table this until the next meeting.
so do we have a second?
We do.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so
Can I ask a question? So moving forward, in the next month, if we get a FOIA request, are we charging? Are we trying to stick to the policy we have?
What does our policy say currently on our website?
I can pull it back
I
up.
don't remember the exact verbiage.
It's okay. It's basically the state code saying that we can charge and saying that if they don't pay a bill within 30 days, that they may not be able to submit a FOIA request because we would not respond. And it says here that we do not have a fixed charge for accessing or searching requested records.
This is based on the actual time and their actual cost.
So I think that we stick with our policy. We put policies in place for a reason. So I think we stick with that policy so that we can back it with policy.
Thank you.
yeah, and again,
And that allows you to adapt it to every different whatever. But you could publish the hourly rate, whatever that is, right? If it's $80 an hour or $20.
I wish I made it.
But you could say it's $40 an hour or it's 15 minutes for $20. You could say that. And you could say 50 cents a page or free if I email it to you. So that you could put on a list.
Yeah, that we could.
So that.
But I do think it's hard. Sorry, because I know we want to table this because if I need to confirm with Nicole,
Right.
do we want to put all of our hourly rates on? I mean, it's public information anyways, but it's.
I say a minimum of maybe.
So with the attorney, isn't that?
Yeah, well, or let's run it by the attorney and then we'll revisit it next month.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next item is the calendar of upcoming events. And I'm not going to read those. I'm going to go right into the committee reports. And I
What's the
guess,
public hearing?
Michelle, I'm going to hit you up with the utilities.
Okay, I'm sorry, well, the water and sewer committee is now the public works committee because we're adding the streets to it. Because we tear up the streets when we do water and sewer, so we're just adding it because we have to, tear up and fix the streets as we're doing it. So that's what we're calling it. We did meet tonight to discuss a couple of things. The biggest one is the planned, what is it called? It's a PUD. What does that mean? PUD.
Planned unit development
Unit
area.
development. I keep on saying urban and this is not urban.
Planned unit development area.
Development area, which is in green up here on the map in the town of Mineral. It's 78 acres behind Albemarle. And right now it's all trees, but it's owned by a person who has representation and they're trying to develop it. And not development, they're trying to come up with a, I don't know what it is. They're trying to get through the zoning process in our office. And they're submitting plans and it was brought to us tonight to see if we could approve the water, and we can't. We don't have the water infrastructure. What? No. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm not, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
I haven't done that yet.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to do that. I apologize. I apologize. I didn't know that. So anyway, we talked about that. And we are having problems with our water otherwise, and that we still have the infiltration on 3rd Street, which is where the sewer is taking on stormwater. And it's still running through the Louisa sewer meters. And so we're paying basically to run rainwater through the sewer meters, and we're paying for rainwater. And it's a lot of money. We've estimated to be around $6,000 or $8,000 a month. We're in the process of trying to get that fixed. We've done several of the steps. We're in line for a contractor to finish that. What else did we fix? We fixed a lot of little leaks. We've had some citizens come to us with leaks now. We haven't had a lot of that in the past, but now I think people are starting to realize, come to us because that adds to your water bill. We have gone from 50% water loss, which means leaks, to we're down to about 36, 37%, which is huge, but it's a lot better than 50%. So we're still working on just leaks everywhere.
Michelle, where are we on the lead?
And on the list,
Oh,
that's going to be in her report.
okay.
I delegated.
I can,
But
so we
do it
can talk
together.
about it.
Nope.
Go ahead.
We completed our lead and copper inventory. Anyone in the town will receive a letter or may have received a letter. If you have galvanized piping, so it's not lead piping, but it's galvanized piping, there is a replacement plan on the town side to get that stuff replaced. We have completely finished our inventory process that was mandated and required by the state. That's done. We finalized that, sent the paperwork over, received our letter of completion from the drinking water office. And now we're just moving on to the next step. So
How many people, how much galvanized stuff?
there's about 80 so residents.
So galvanized isn't poisonous, but what it does is it collects lead. As the lead goes by, the lead grabs onto the galvanized and stays there. And so, it functionally becomes lead.
Okay, so that's it on the utilities.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Just
going
we
to
ask for comments from Hank because he knows the system better than anybody. I think it would be good.
Well,
that's really up to,
that's up to me.
Yeah,
And I talked to him this evening, and these are the things that we decided to put into the meeting. So, but if you have any specific questions, you can ask him another time.
Okay.
We don't have anything else specific, but
so the only other thing that I want to bring up that falls under utilities. And again, I'm not beating a dead horse here, but here's a good example. During our big political heyday before elections, there was a rumor going around that this town council, or the one before it, gave away Walton Park. And because we gave away Walton Park and
I did.
the well number 4 was given to them, that's why your water rates went up. Thank you. BS, folks. Okay, yes, we gave Walton Park to the fire department because they were the owners originally. The problem is because back in the day, a fire department could not own real estate. That's why the town did it. When we gave that
They
to,
could if they were incorporated.
when they were, but at the time they weren't. And then when they did, it just took a while. And then when we approached the fire department, they voted to accept it. Thank you, Mr. Harlow, for that. Who used to be the fire chief, or may still be the fire chief for all I know. Anyways, part of the provision in there was that if for some reason we needed the well back, or council could find the money that it was going to cost to basically rehab that, that we could get that back. The problem is it was not a very big producer of water like it used to be heyday, and the cost didn't really justify asking for it back. But again, that's my understanding. And again, this is where rumor control, elections, people get to say what they want to say. And some of you, if it's on the internet, it must be true. But just because somebody tells you, that's not the case. So, I just wanted to throw that out. Do you have anything?
I did want to say two other quick things. One is I want to ask again for capital improvement funds for the water and sewer. And, we did have, a person in town authority did put this on Facebook, what you just said, and put it out there recently. And I would like people to ignore it, just like you said. And I would like the council to take steps to have members not do this. And so I would like us to talk with this person and to take care of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Again, the bottom line is pick up your phone and call me. If I don't know the answer, I will get back to you. You can ask certain people in there who.
And you can call
Hey,
me,
Tabby,
anybody
you
can
can
call me
answer.
about water and
Yeah, so-
sewer. Call me, seriously. I don't mind
If I can put
answering.
my 2 cents in on this.
Go ahead.
I would just point out that Walton Park is used by the fire department to raise money to operate the fire department. So how many of you want a fire and no fire department?
That's right.
So we want to be thinking about that as well. It protects our town. So let's keep,
And they let us use it.
right.
And they've done a hell of a good job. I live next to it. There's a lot more activities. I'm sure some of you have enjoyed some of the activities. It's,
And they take care of it better
Great
than
asset.
we did at the time. When we switched it over, we weren't doing
all right.
it.
I'm tired of lecturing. Let's-
Hold on, I think Olivia had a comment.
Olivia, please.
No, sorry, I thought you had your hand up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Town manager.
So I want to talk about committees for a second. I just want to put this out there. As a town manager, we work with the staff, work with committees in the town. Since I've been here in April, we have not had any committee meetings except for utility and maybe a personnel. I think it's important to have a policy, and I'm just putting it out there, around committees and what they mean to the town, what citizens can do to be on a committee. Council members, you can only have, at the most two, because three is a quorum. So I would like to ask for citizens to be on committees. I would like to come up with a policy around committees, committee meetings, having standard meetings once a quarter, because to me, that's the only way that we're going to be able to come together and work. There's multiple committees that we're going to have. In January, I think, is when there's a new committee changeover. So if council wants that idea, I'd like to put something together so that we could present that and maybe establish that come January, to be able to do more things in the town, including community events.
Exactly.
Don't limit it to citizens, please.
Pardon?
Don't limit it to citizens only, please.
Or landowners,
Oh, you mean like, okay, I got it.
business owners, landowners, and residents, which can be
That's,
different, yes.
we talked about FOIA fees. We have an attorney, that we're going to be talking with, that will possibly be our town attorney. That's up to the council. So we'll be, meeting with him. I touch one more thing on water and sewer. So, with the water and sewer, lead and copper, we were able to get a GIS, license. And the GIS license allows us to see our, meter locations. I am working with them. I think I made this comment before, but I'm working with them to figure out, and they're going to get me a quote for our water lines and our sewer lines to be on the GIS so that we can manage them appropriately. Working with Hank to say, these have been repaired, these haven't been repaired, this had a leak, this is a whole new line, this is a 6-inch line, this is an 8-inch line. So we're going to be doing all of that. I'm getting a quote from them to see if council is wanting to do that. But this will give us an opportunity to have our infrastructure and inventory in a place where we can look at it, view it, make notes, talk about it, see what the repairs are. Avexon, let's move to IT. So Avexon is our new IT consulting firm that we'll be working with. I had a first meeting today to go over just the town's, IT infrastructure, the security, what the server the new server that you guys bought, what that looks like, and how we're going to move forward, to have a more secure, situation for the town. We're getting bigger. The town of Mineral is getting bigger. There's more residents. We're getting more attention. This leads to more hacking. This leads to a lot of stuff going on, within our system. So they're going to work with us to make sure that we are safe and secure and have the functions that we need as a town to operate. The audit is still going on. We have 2 more things to get together before we can finish, sending all the documentation to the auditors for FY 2022. Hopefully that will be done and completed this week. And then I'm waiting to hear back from the auditor. Once that's done, we can move on to the next year. I would like for council to take an opportunity to look at the fee structure for next year, start thinking about our fee structure. Our fees are located online. This is because we need to look at our zoning fees, our application fees, our everything, any application that we have, what the fees are, looking at, if we want, our FOIA fee, if that's a thing that we're going to post, to get a feel with what you are thinking, if you're thinking anything, if you think that we should, include fees such as a rezoning fee, if someone wants to rezone property, such as a multiple applications for like land development, whatever that looks like. And we can use Louisa as an example since we, filtration into the county from the town. And then the events, they're on the calendar report for the agenda, but we have the tree lighting, we have we're going to do refreshments, we'll have the tree lighting, Hopefully we'll have some vendors, maybe some food trucks. It just depends. We're looking to do more events in the town. We're looking to maybe do, something vendor related, like a street festival, or maybe something that's in the park vendor related, if we can work with the rescue, the fire and rescue. Will help the community build, and it will bring more, attract more individuals to the town. I know that's what, everyone is hoping that will happen, and it will be good for the businesses that are currently here. So that's my report.
It shows DMV. Is there anything on?
There's a report in there from DMV.
Okay, next section is council comments. I asked that this be put in, it's been a couple months in the system. I thought in putting this in, this would give council members an opportunity to say what's on their mind about any subject that seems to be burning. Or it could be a good comment, it could be a bad comment, it could just be venting. It's not personal attacks. It's not about calling somebody out. It's just keeping it to the facts. And if you think you start swaying, I'm going to gavel you, and that's going to be your warning. I want us to be able to talk. And if something's bothering you, I don't want to wait until all of a sudden you got several things and something little happens and you go off the deep end. Okay? And if you don't have any comments, then you can pass. Obviously, we updated the civility pledge. Again, for the new members, look it over. For those that want to tweak it some more or are good with it, then give it to the town clerk and she'll just put it in a file.
If nobody else has comments, I have comments.
Okay, go ahead.
We have the civility pledge, right?
Well, yeah, I just talked about civility pledge.
Oh, I thought it was in there because I had a comment. I asked her if we put in there because I had a comment about the civility.
Okay,
Go ahead.
But if you want to go ahead and,
I'm gonna be a few minutes.
okay, go ahead.
okay. I really try to, stick to really positive stuff here and I'm unfortunately disappointed to have to say that the first, we just got this put in very recently and I hate to even have to bring this up, and there's really no other forum in this council to bring this up. It's not, we don't have meetings of the council that are not with you guys here.
Okay, some ground rules. Just say what the issue is. Don't try to justify and do the dance. If you don't like something, point it out and say why you don't like it, and then we'll see if we can adjust it.
Another council member, Bernice Cubey, went to a business and told them something that untrue that I had told them, or that I was preventing them from getting on our sign, Jen's Crafters. And that was untrue. I actually was trying to either include all businesses on our electronic sign fairly, or was saying it's either all or nothing. It couldn't just be Bernice's friends or ones that she wanted on there. It had to either be all the businesses or, none of the businesses. But she was putting on ones that were people she knew and she liked, and they were getting on the sign, and other businesses were being excluded. And so that's what I said.
Okay, so can I interrupt you for 1 minute? That being said, if you have a business in the town of Monroe, we're going to give you an opportunity to showcase your business on either our website or on the sign. In other words, just saying something nice about your company.
And I think it's great. I love that.
Okay, it's not, you're going to give a long dissertation. Some people may not know that we have a bakery. So guess what? We should probably put something on here that we have a bakery. We had a presentation of a group that's getting together. You know, if you hadn't come, you may not have known it. So we're going to let people know. Our website will have those different businesses because I think it's important. The businesses like you all, the residents, is what makes this town the way it is in terms of a community. And if, for example, Rolling Wheels is kind of off the main drag, but they're still a company, and some of you may not even know that they're back there, or Duke Oil. So, you know, we're going to, again, we want to recognize you, and that's the way that we can do that. Now, that being said, I'm jumping off because we haven't really thought it all through. So we may tweak it a little bit when I get an earful from this side that you shouldn't have said it. You go, that's okay. Any of you that know me, I'm okay for you to call me out or say I made a mistake. And I'm certainly have apologized to you all on numerous occasions. Okay? I don't have a degree in being the mayor, and it's jumping into the fire, and depending what part of my body gets burned, I'm a quick learner. Mama says, don't touch the burner, and I touch the burner, I won't do that again. So, okay?
Bernice has a comment.
So, okay, can I just?
Mr. Mayor? Michelle's finishing.
Just a second.
Sorry.
Anyway, so my point is that,
Oh, go ahead.
I just had a complaint that I thought it was a violation of the civility pledge, that she was not honest about me, and I think she should be reprimanded for that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
is it my turn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I had gone around for the past 2 years at Christmas time and asked the people that had businesses like the Mercantile and Jan's Crafts and Treasured Moments across the road. When they were having their open houses, they told me about them, and they have in the past been on there. I was called and told that Michelle had complained and that I needed to take the sign down. So I did. But I had to go down and tell the person that I had asked for the information to tell her why it was coming down. Well, Michelle did make a complaint to the office, and that was what was told to me. So I couldn't tell the woman that I was taking it down just of my own volition. And yes, we can put up everybody's information if they have a 10-year anniversary or whatever, but this stuff of constantly calling me down from these people on council has got to stop.
Okay.
Well, no,
What?
okay. But I was only talking about Jen's Crafters.
Okay.
That's the only one I heard about, and I did not, she was not on the sign, and she was not on the sign, and you did not remove her.
All right, so this is the danger when you're going to speak as a council comments,
Mhm.
okay?
Well, that's where you put these.
I
So,
understand, but it's not a back and forth. You had your say, Bernice has her say, and now I'm gonna go to David. Go ahead, David.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody, I'm Dave Hempstead. And I got sensitive.
Well, welcome, I have too, thank you.
I have no idea who you are, but when you stood up and spoke at public comments, you defamed me for doing something. I have no idea what. If you have a problem with me, everybody in here knows where I live. Come knock on my door and tell me what your issue is. Because I am an engineer and I've been in business for 40 years. And I was very respected in that community.
All right,
And so, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
okay. But
All right, my statement about my censure. I wrote it down because I'll get confused with the amount of issues that were brought up. And
yes,
so Mr. Reeves,
he can make a comment
But he can't
about.
address it.
No, I understand, and I'll take care of it. Right? Go ahead.
okay. I'm a retired senior project manager who is responsible for multi-million-dollar construction projects. I did this for almost 40 years. I very often managed multiple projects at one time, and at any one time, I could be managing up to easily $20 to $30 million worth of work. One of the many duties I was responsible for was making sure that every subcontractor and or supplier that wanted to do work on any project that I had was vetted extremely in depth. I knew whether they had any legal issues against them, anything. I would find it out because millions of dollars rested on that information. Whether y'all like it or not, I'm sorry, but that's who I am. I like information. If I saw any red flags, like I found out that a masonry company was using multi-capacity vans to bring people to my job site. They had, just this one mason had 150 to 200 employees on the job every day. And if they have a driver that has a bad legal record, I need to know about that because it impacts the schedule for doing the work. And it also reflects badly on the work in general. So I had to know some things like that. I would dig as deep as needed to sort out the perceived problems. And doing this type of work is definitely not for everyone, but simply a matter of general business on a daily basis for me. None of you council members or town manager or Stephanie
Clerk.
had ever managed $1 million work.
I'm sorry.
You don't know what
I'm explaining.
No, you cannot say that. You do not know my work history, and I'm not going to let you. No, you don't. You
I looked at your.
don't know everything that I did.
That's,
You're getting out of control.
I,
They, if you want to make comments, but
That's
do
what I'm
not,
trying
I
to
said
do.
not to attack.
I didn't attack
Well,
anybody. That one started to attack me.
I'm sorry.
She is not that.
I made a general statement
It's
that
5
the
minutes.
people around here, sitting around this table, have not managed multi-millions of dollars of work on a daily basis.
You don't know
I
that.
don't- I don't know.
Yes, I did.
No, you
I did
don't.
my
No,
research.
you don't.
You're
Ed, I just said that I do my research. I don't need to
Looked
be
at me on
questioned.
LinkedIn.
That-
Neither do we.
Are you done?
It's mine.
Let me-
$1 million.
Can I go forward without being interrupted?
No.
Well, it depends on what comes out of your mouth, whether you agitate people, but go ahead.
He said,
I'm saying we gotta have thick skin, come on,
I'm
you
saying,
wanna throw me out?
Not when he's,
You're contradicting yourself.
no, I'm saying he's coming out.
I don't care if it's-
He doesn't have to make an assumption that he's the only one that's a multi-million-dollar.
Let him talk and then counter him. You said one talks, the other talks. Do it. That's what you said, do it. I'm just saying what you said.
but when he calls people that woman, that's
I
inappropriate.
didn't say that, woman.
You said that.
I was talking about all of the people sitting at this table.
And you pointed at me and said that woman. I'm
I
done.
made a way.
No.
To be censored for abusive language, behavior, rude behavior, releasing private documents, and potentially opening the town litigation to litigation for creating a hostile work environment is just plain ridiculous. The emails I sent out did not contain any abusive language. In fact, in paragraph 2 of the email that started all this, I began with, "No one is questioning you or any of your staff's intelligence." I take particular objection to the statement that I was abusive to the treasurer because I have found that Kelly is to be a highly competent, conscientious, and kind personality. And I have never made any rash statements against Kelly, but it was put in that censor. Where am I? The email in question was sent to the town manager and copied to the council and mayor and made reference to the town clerk. Mr. Chapman and Ms. Washington have no applicable experience in running very large businesses, anywhere near the complexities that I did for almost 40 years, and do not seem to understand what is required to do business of that complexity. They do not seem to understand what it really means to vet potential contractors or employees. More than anything, they don't seem to understand that council works for the citizens of Mineral, not for them. I don't work for you guys. I work for the town. You said that I violated the Freedom of Information Act by sending out emails on my private email. So I called the Freedom of Information Council and asked them that question. And the guy laughed at me. One of their attorneys laughed and said, "We get this every day." Asking questions to prepare for your next council meeting is typical. And he told me that I definitely had not violated any FOIA regulations. And in fact, Freedom of Information Council expects town councils to exchange emails and texts and other forms of communication during the month in preparation for the next council meeting. This was one of their attorneys. He then commented that since FOIA strongly recommends for town governments to be yearly certified, that he would send me a link for the next online state class on November 13th, 2024, so that everybody could sign up and get recertified for this year or next year for calendar year. In addition, he would include a link for the online FOIA manual and contact info for the FOIA Council, which I sent to everybody. I forwarded this to all of you, but it seems obvious that because I sent it by my private email that you probably ignored. You also accused me of providing secret closed meeting documents to the public. Quote Virginia Law 2.2-3700 of the Freedom of Information Law as your justification for this. 2.2-3700 is 67 pages long. I would think that you could have been a little more specific when you tried to say that I violated freedom of information. I provided the signed and approved final agreement between Clayton Homes and the town of Mineral to select people. This was a done deal, no longer in negotiation. It is clearly a public document. You just did not want it posted or revealed to the residents of the town. You discussed this also in closed meeting, and you have yet to disclose this agreement in public to anyone. More of your disgusting behavior as far as I'm concerned. The email that I received from Nicole Washington told me that Stephanie Dorman was the Freedom of Information Officer. Ms. Washington stated that she had worked for the government for 10 years. The obvious questions as I had as a retired senior project manager are, if Stephanie is a FOIA officer, then I would like to see her current and previous certificates that verify that she is actually a FOIA officer. Simple question. Since her LinkedIn resume makes absolutely no reference to this, and that's public. If she is indeed certified, I just wanted to know if she was up to date on FOIA, because since she has been here, I have noted several FOIA violations that have not been corrected. Ms. Washington declaring that she has worked for the government for 10 years as a town councilman who works for the residents of Mineral. I asked for verification of that experience. In my job as a senior project manager, that's a normal thing to do. You ask for references and you get them. Mr. Chapman and Ms. Washington seem to forget the council is the governing body of the town of Mineral, and that the council is under the Commonwealth of Virginia Bill of Rights, subservient to the citizens of Mineral, not their dictators. My stating that the town manager and all the other town employees work for the town council is a simple statement of fact.
We have less than a minute on the Zoom. Do you mind if we pause? Do you mind if we pause so I can restart the Zoom?
Zoom is going to
This is gonna
stop.
stop
If
so
you-
we
can you
can
wait a second?
record it.
Hey,
Guys, come on, you're getting.
I mean, we're
really
getting-
warmed up.
I'm gonna restart the Zoom.
Go ahead, restart. Stand by.